The name Jeff Daniels means something different to different fans of his work. It could mean his character Flap Horton in the classic movie Terms of Endearment. It might mean his starring role in Woody Allen's The Purple Rose of Cairo. Maybe it's his Emmy-winning performance over 3 seasons as anchorman Will McAvoy on The Newsroom. Or let's all admit it together, we go right to Daniels playing alongside Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber. That role, as you're about to hear, may have been the most important of his long and distinguished career. Jeff invited us to his hometown of Chelsea, Michigan, and the Purple Rose Theater he founded there for a Sunday Sit-Down. Jeff Daniels is one of the most accomplished and respected actors in Hollywood. But he knows there is one movie that will be with him until the very end.
If you fellas excuse me, I gotta use the phone.
What did the people around you say when you said, you know what, I want to do this Dumb and Dumber movie. I want to do it with Jim Carrey. Trust me on this one.
He goes, Jeff, Jim Carrey is a comedic genius. He's probably going to wipe you off the screen. Sorry. I said, but he's not in the tongue on the pole scene. He doesn't hit her in the head and then pick a fight with her. And he's not on the toilet.
No, I was just shaving.
Classic scene, by the way.
It'll be on my tombstone.
That tombstone probably will be here in Chelsea, Michigan, the small town of about 5,000 people west of Detroit, where Daniels grew up and lives today.
That's where I went to church as a kid.
The 63-year-old was an athlete at Chelsea High School. His dad ran the local lumber yard and at one time was the town's mayor. Here in Chelsea, Jeff was introduced to the loves of his life, his wife Kathleen, and acting. Curious what kind of young man you were.
He was very Norman Rockwell, and I was coming out of a basketball practice, and the musical director said, Jeff! I said, oh, no. Come here. She put me up on stage, and now I'm in musicals because we need bodies.
Somebody dragged you off the basketball court and put you on stage.
Yes.
He was hooked. Daniels went on to study in the theater program at Central Michigan University. During his junior year, he dropped out and moved to New York to become a professional actor, starting with work in theater and commercials.
Sure like to borrow her detergent.
Daniels' breakthrough came in 1983 when he was cast as Deborah Winger's unfaithful husband in the Oscar-winning movie Terms of Endearment.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ems. I fell asleep on that big sofa at the library again.
Woody Allen liked what he saw and cast Daniels in The Purple Rose of Cairo.
He may not have the most lines, but the plot turns on Baxter.
That performance earned Daniels praise and some lofty expectations. GQ magazine asked on its cover, is Jeff Daniels the next Cary Grant? On the brink of Hollywood stardom, Daniels did something unexpected.
I'm going to go home. If you want me, I'll be in Michigan. I knew instinctively that that's where I wanted to be so that when the phone rang and my agent said, you're over, I'd already be home.
Were there any moments when you were back here where you said, oh, I've made a terrible mistake? Maybe I should have gone to L.A.?
Yeah, there was a little, I didn't make a mistake, and I wasn't going to move the family to California or New York again. The career wasn't that important to me. It was important, but it wasn't that important. They came first, our quality of life came first.
Daniels earned roles in Arachnophobia and Speed, but it was that 1994 comedy with Jim Carrey that got him back in the game.
And then I got Dumb and Dumber. And I went from, what's your name? To Jeff Daniels.
Right.
But still thinking, well, let me know when it's over.
Daniels knew he always had the theater, either as a Tony-nominated Broadway actor or at the Purple Rose Theater Company he founded in Chelsea 26 years ago. Did that seem like a crazy idea to people at the time, to build a hub for theater in Chelsea, Michigan?
Yes, it was a theater. We're a great example of what the arts could do for a community. And we give that 21-year-old kid a place to get great.
Daniels has written 17 plays for the Purple Rose. His latest is called Flint, about the water crisis in another Michigan town.
Where there's smoke, there's fire, especially when you're talking about water.
The play is about being at the bottom, what it feels like, what it sounds like, what it looks like.
The Purple Rose Theater is named for the movie that changed Daniels' life, directed by Woody Allen. Allen has been accused by his daughter of molestation. He denies the allegation, but some actors say they won't work with the director again.
There seem to be two camps on Woody Allen right now. How do you feel about him?
I named my theater after a movie I did with Woody Allen called The Purple Rose of Cairo, and I'm not changing the name. That movie meant the world to me. It was a turning point in my career. I was working with one of the great American filmmakers. He is now one of the great American filmmakers with a big asterisk next to that. If Woody were to call me and say, I want you to do a role in my next movie, the easy answer is say no. The harder answer is, I don't know, because I would have trouble. I would be saddened that I would have to say no to someone who did so much for me all those years ago.
Ivan is fine, but he's not a serious guy. He's a Philistine.
More recently, Daniels has
guy who doesn't
achieved the
care
leading
about
man
books or
status
interesting
that was
films
predicted
and
for
things.
him. He was nominated for a Golden Globe for the 2005 indie hit The Squid and the Whale. And he won an Emmy for his portrayal of the fed-up news anchor Will McAvoy on Aaron Sorkin's HBO show The Newsroom.
And with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom?
When you read that first speech in the pilot, the Northwestern speech, did you, from that script, think we've got something here on this show?
I had been waiting for that speech for decades. There is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. Now, Aaron Sorkin, of West Wing fame, of Rant, the Sorkin Rant, he's handing it to me. There was no way I was going to screw that up.
Daniels is busy now with a pair of projects on streaming platforms. There's Godless on Netflix.
You best kill him, son.
And his latest, The Looming Tower, on Hulu. It's the true story of the lead-up to the September 11th terrorist attacks. Daniels stars as the late FBI agent John O'Neill.
I really wish people would stop telling me to calm down. There are bombs going off around the world. It doesn't make me feel calm.
So how did you get into him? How'd you figure him out?
You hang on to the fact that he was right about bin Laden, about Al-Qaeda, that no one's paying attention, and I'm going to scream and I'm going to yell, and the way he went about it cost him his career.
Despite 35 years of success on stage and screen, Jeff Daniels still fully expects it all to end with a phone call. But at least he'll already be home in Chelsea when it comes.
As Tony Randall said, on the last day of the movie, when the movie wraps, that's when you know you got the job.
Such a good guy. The Looming Tower is streaming now on Hulu, and Daniels will return to Broadway this fall, playing Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird, adapted by Aaron Sorkin. Previews begin November the 1st. To hear Jeff describe his father's first reaction to that infamous toilet scene in Dumb and Dumber, check out our web extras at today.com/Sunday.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.